We got lights, camera, action. Actually, the lights aren't that good. Camera's doing what it can. Action is me. I'm the action. Welcome everyone to our awesome mastermind group for Monday, the 12th of July. John Lavenia here with you, ready to start another awesome week. Despite the fact that I am on, I guess this is called a vacation. Is that what this is called, Mark? I don't even know. Visiting relatives on the other side of the country. I'm looking marvelous, says Mark. Thank you, sir, despite the grainy video from crappy lighting. I'll tell you what, lighting is important, and I didn't bring any lighting with me, so that's okay. I'm in my father's basement right now, which is nice and cool because it is humid on the East Coast of the United States. I forget how humid it is sometimes. Well, I remembered when I was down in Florida, but I just remembered again because we had a tornado watch and like non-hurricane tropical Elsa and all of this simultaneously. While Elsa was going on here on the East Coast, there was like a big haboob. Does anyone know what a haboob is? A haboob. That's not a word.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, a sandstorm. There was a sandstorm in Phoenix. So took out a couple trees. Yeah. So there's that. We missed that, but our neighbor who's watching our dogs made sure everything was fine, and so our house is fine. So that's nice. We got some down trees. Yes, now you know what a haboob is. There you go. Boy, they know all about those in Qatar, and you know where like Ego hangs out, right? In Arabian Peninsula, they got some real sandstorms over there. Yeah, not these little mincy ones that we got here in the United States in the desert Southwest. But I'm glad to be here with everyone. We're going to have another awesome week. I see some of my most favorite people in the world. Ace is here. Carl, good to see you. Daisy, Edward, Ivier's here. Janet, Joseph, who I know who that is behind the Joseph mask. That's my friend Julia. Linda's here. And of course, Lindsay's here. Mark, Robin, Sharon, Suzanne over in Switzerland, and the cookie queen herself, Virginia Pipitone. Hey, we got some stuff on the calendar today. We do have our e-commerce work group with Emma, and I believe Neil will be back today. E-commerce work group is at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And I know we got a lot of e-commerce people doing the e-commerce thing, so tune in for that. 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, I'm going to send out a reminder publicly today because we're going live with chapters 3 and 4 from my first book, Integrity is Everything. So we're going to be talking about being on a mission, which is chapter 3, and 3 magic words, which is chapter 4. Fun chapters, I think. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about chapter 3 with you all right now because I just reread it. You see that? Like I got to remember what was written in that, despite the fact that I wrote it. What did I write in that chapter? Something good. I hope something good. You know what I realized? I'm very conversational in my writing, as well as like I recited that book. I just spit it out of my mouth. I didn't actually take pen to paper. And when I was making it into chapters, I then had to rewrite some of the stuff that was exceedingly conversational. Like it wouldn't work. Not only was it bad grammar in terms of the written word, it just doesn't read well, right? So I actually had to rewrite some of that stuff to make it, the written word instead of just me mouthing off into a recording device. So, but as I was reading that, I was remembering how applicable this stuff is, which is the whole point of the whole book, right? Is that all this philosophy and all this personal development stuff is for use. It's not just, that we get to sit there and, be philosophical or something. It's that we get to have a result. Hence the title and the first 2 chapters that we already read last week. I'm really excited to have some new, people from the public tuning in on that, on the book study, because not only does that expand the conversation of success into an ever-growing audience, but it also exposes people to just the dynamism that exists here in this group. I mean, you look at some of the strata of people and characters and personality, and some of you definitely are characters. That's right. I'm looking at you, Janet, and, and Ace and Ivier, right? I mean, people from all different backgrounds. I remember something that my friend Carlene mentioned, which was heartfelt by me, was that what we're doing here, and she named me specifically, transcends all of the things that divide people, race, creed, color, religion, blah blah blah. Right? Here's all the nuance, which is nice and variety and great, but principles trump all of it. And so for that to come out of her mouth was extremely validating for me, because that's certainly my intent, right? I'm interested in principles, not, what color skin bag you're walking around in. I could care less. Martian, who cares? Who cares? At least that's my perspective on it, right? Are you an on-purpose person? Well, please be in this group, right? Because maybe I can learn something from you, right? You get it done, right? I believe in meritocracy. Can you get the job done? Fantastic. Let's do the job. And so to that end, I want to talk with you a little bit today about something that I just reread from the author, who happened to be myself, in chapter 3, which is On a Mission. And of course, we're going to talk about it at length tonight, but just one idea that kind of hit me right upside the head. I was like, oh yeah, that's it right there. And it was the idea, as the chapter title implies, the idea that we could actually be on a mission. There's contrast that I see when I look at my life and I look at things that I do sort of begrudgingly, and all right, I got to get it done, this obligatory stuff and whatever, right? Or going back when I was an employee at a menial job, okay, not the professional automotive and diesel diagnostician, all the stuff that I did there, I had a bit more intention on that. Although towards the end, I probably didn't have much intention on that. My intention was to get out of that. But the idea of being the guy working the job and just doing enough to not get fired, punching the clock, same old, same old. I remember going, this was when I was actually in school, learning how to be a diesel mechanic, down in Nashville, Tennessee. Great city, by the way. Humid as hell, not unlike where I am right now. But yeah, July in Nashville, 100 degrees, 100% humidity every day, right? So, but I remember being there, and I had a job while I worked or while I went to school. I would also do odd jobs on the side. Somebody needed their transmission repaired, or brakes on their car, or I would do it all. I had my little toolbox, and I would show up and I would work on their cars in their driveways, to earn money while I was going through diesel college. And but I also had a job. Mark will get a kick out of this. I was one of the lot boys at a Buick dealership in Nashville, Tennessee. By the way, I'll tell you a little joke about that. So anyone who knows the history of Tennessee, there's the General Jackson steamboat that runs up and down the Cumberland River. Okay, and you can take a steamboat ride on the General Jackson steamboat. Anyway, the Hermitage is the location of the late President Jackson. And while I was working at this car dealership as a lot boy in the Buick car lot, is Buick still around? I think they are. I know Pontiac's done, okay, but General Motors, Buick. But they were these new sales guys that would get hired on, and the old seasoned sales guys would play a joke on them. They would have the receptionist give them a voice message, a phone message that Andrew has called for them, and please call Andrew back. He's interested in buying a car. And they would give him the number of the Hermitage, which was Andrew Jackson's plantation. And these new sales guys would call the Hermitage. How can I speak to Andrew, please? Sorry, sir, he's been dead for about 100 years. These guys would fall for it again and again. Yeah, the Hermitage. All right. So in that environment, though, when I was the lot boy on the car dealership lot, there was this old timer that worked there. Oh my goodness, what was his name? Had to be 100 years old, black dude, probably weighed 95 pounds, kind of hunched over. He was the other lot boy, right? And we would get the cars off the line, and we would run them through the car wash machine, right? And then dry them off and put them back in the line. That was basically our whole job, was to keep the cars clean, keep them looking good, right? That was it, right? Total menial labor kind of stuff. And I would ask this guy, how's it going? And every day his answer was, same old soup, just warmed over. Same old soup, just warmed over. Later, when I started my franchise, I had that tool business, right, where I was running the trucks, and I would walk into sometimes the automotive repair shops, also located at car dealerships or independents or whatever, and I would attempt to be uplifting, right? I mean, after all, I'm there to sell, right? So now this is some years later. Okay, I'm there to sell. I got tools. These guys got money, hopefully, and I'm there to sell. How's it going, guys? Great day. And I would see these guys once a week, right? So my Tuesday route was, 10, 15, however many different automotive repair shops. And I would see these guys approximately the same time every week on Tuesday, for example, right? And a lot of times I would walk into the shop and I know who these guys are. And here I am being chipper. How's it going, guys? Same stuff, different day, same old, same old. And I think about that now, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, oh, oh. When I transition out of the lot boy job, the other jobs that I had, even the franchise thing, that's how it occurred to me. And there are people who go through life with vast experience in some profession, which they were either born into or somehow got railroaded into or whatever. The car business is like that, by the way. I know some car guys that have been car guys forever. It's like, I'd love to get out, but where do I go? Kind of like, that's it. Same soup, just warmed over. And it's survival, right? They're paying their bills, but are they on purpose? Do they feel fulfilled in that? Unfulfilling work. That's the thing where I just cringe when I think about how many people I've confronted in life, including myself. Janet, that's a lot boy, not lock boy. Car lot. Yes, very good. Lot. All right. But how many people are living their life? I talk to clients all the time. So, what are you doing, for living up to this point? Oh, yeah. Okay. How long have you been doing that? Oh, 25 years. Yeah. And sometimes I'll ask people, so is it like, does it feel like it's 25 years experience, or is it just like 1 year repeated over and over and over and over again? And usually I get an affirmative on the latter. Same soup, just warmed over. What's missing? Purpose, a mission. Mark knows. I mean, you go, like Mark's got the military experience. So I'm sure he's got some reality about this, right? So the mission is the mission, and then the mission gets accomplished or not. Hopefully it does, right? And then when it's accomplished, then you get another mission. Remember that movie? And this is kind of, dark, but Apocalypse Now, Martin Sheen, which I've watched so many times. I've got some fixation on the Vietnam conflict, but which I was born right at the tail end, at least in this body, I was born right at the tail end of that. So do what you want with that. But I remember he was at the opening scenes of that movie. He's just kind of hanging out in Saigon, like waiting for a mission and like doing drugs and like, punching the mirror and bleeding all over the place and sitting there just being miserable with no mission. And then I remember the line in the movie, I asked for a mission, and for my sins, they gave me one. And it was a pretty interesting movie if you've seen it, but no mission. So when I looked at my life and where it's gone since having decided on some grander goals and purposes and like getting myself on a mission, my goodness, what a difference. What a difference. The field I play in now, and it's multiple fields because, I run multiple businesses, but every day is like an adventure. That's how it occurs to me. And some days are more adventurous than others. And some days I'm just looking at, I got stuff I have to get done. Sure, there's obligatory stuff that needs to get done. Let me get that stuff done, or let me delegate it, or let me decide not to do it, or let me make some decisions about this stuff because I'm on a mission, A to B. And sometimes people can perceive, people like, I suppose myself, I think EVA would probably, gladly take this, acknowledgement. Julia, right? And others here, right? Mandy, These are people who occur as to outsiders, right, to ignorant bystanders, as people who are moving really fast, like A to B, like don't waste a lot of time, right? And others here as well, right? Just grabbing a couple of people that I'm seeing right here on the screen. And while others, let's say, people who aren't on a mission, well, just kind of killing time, right? Punching the clock. I like being on a mission. It changes the whole experience. The work, the income producing activities and stuff like that. There may or may not be much, difference in terms of the actual doingness of stuff. Okay, but just the spirit with which we're doing it, and the intent. Yes, the intention to get things done, and because we know why we're getting them done. Probably the worst leadership in the world would be the authoritarian type leadership. Maybe you've had a boss like this, or a parent, or whoever. Why do we do that? Because I said so. Ooh, really? How do you enroll someone into a mission if that's what it is? How many people right now are pushing papers around on a desk in an unfulfilling job just because that's their superiors told them to? Look busy. Ugh. Right? Can we get something done here? Can we accomplish something? I mean, you think about it, there's so many companies right now that are griping about low profit margins. Can we create efficiency? I think that's what we're talking about here. When I'm on a mission, I also become efficient. I get to what? I get to put more of my attention on things that matter. And I can make those distinctions. I can discriminate between this is worth attention and this is worth ignoring, right? Or overcoming a barrier or whatever. But, keep the attention on the mission. What did Henry Ford say? Obstacles are those frightful things we see when we take our eyes off our goals. So keep the carrot right here. Here's the mission. Keep thinking about the mission. Here's the carrot. Here it is. Here it is. Why do we have goal cards? Why do we have dream boards? Why do we have, like in my phone, if I pull up the notes application, there's all my write-up, my auto suggestion. Here's all the shit that I tell myself every day, multiple times a day, including and especially first thing in the morning. That's the first note in my notes application. I'm not telling you that that's the ultimate method. It's just a method because this is always with me. Okay, so that's a method. Somebody might have a gold card down their bra or something. Fine. Reminds you all the time. There it is. It's uncomfortable, right? So, and that's a method. That's a method. But the point is that we keep the carrot in front of our face. Here's the dream board. Here's the clippings from the magazine, right? Or whatever it is that we need these reminders, you see, because life will continuously remind us about all the people and all the possibility of not advancing, of not going where you want to go, of not being efficient or effective. I like being on a mission. I like it. And so again, to the ignorant bystander, I might seem like a workaholic. My goodness, I'm on so-called vacation right now, right? And yet I would have missed this for anything. What? Right? I mean, if I have to be on a plane, right now I'm actively flying on plane. Okay, well, somebody else is going to have to host a session or something. But when is the vacation for living this? When is that? Right? And we've all, I'm guessing we all have recognized people who loved their work and they did it till the day they died. They died doing what they loved. I think sometimes of some of the guys who've come before me, I'm not going to name any of them right now, but who loved their work so much, like died on stage. That's a grand finale, huh? How's that for a crescendo? And they were just about to give the final word, right? They had figured it out, and that's it. Lights out. No, probably not. But we can look at that and we can assess for ourselves. Do we feel like we're on a mission? In the book, and I'll bring it up tonight on book study, I revisited the SMART goals formula, which is kind of rudimentary. And yet, if you look at how many people actually have goals, well, maybe it's not rudimentary at all. Maybe we need to take this up every day. What's your mission? Do you know it? And are you personally enrolled in it? Back to the idea of leadership, right? Do it because I told you so. I'm not enrolled. I may be coerced, but I'm not enrolled. Think about that. The child who, going back to children, which we're all, we all were, and arguably, right? Maybe we're just 50, 40, 70-year-old children, right? With different clothing or whatever, but we still have those, the instincts, same instincts that all, creatures that, hope for gain, fear of loss, right? Seek pleasure, avoid pain. Okay, so that's kind of binary. But we all have things that we hopefully want, right? That we're, inspirational to us. And there's things that we would like to avoid because we know that's a painful road or whatever the penalties are, right? Of wrong living. And so isn't it so much better to be self-determined? And again, on a mission with that, rather than because you have to, or because somebody told you so. Now, look, I get that there are people in the world who are obsessed with power over others. I personally don't think that way, so I don't get it. Okay, but you can look to governments and other criminal organizations, and you can see, rife with that sort of personality. As far as I'm concerned, here we are, very able to be, do, and have whatever we want. Right. That doesn't mean you're an island and you don't participate in, a larger group. But any group of powerful people is made up of the component parts known as powerful individuals. In other words, self-determined people who are on a mission and can lift all up. And that's why I celebrate anyone who's on purpose, on a mission. Workaholic, fine. Yes, you'll find balance in life. Here I am doing it too, but still taking time each day to remember this is the mission that I'm on, and here's the effect that I can have. Because I'll tell you what, inertia sucks. When I'm not on a mission and then it's time to get on one, getting off my ass, that's a lot of work, right? I ran 9 miles yesterday, kind of tweaked my ankle a little bit too. I don't run 9 miles every day. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get something done here. I came back and I was wet head to toe, just the humidity. It was about 90 degrees out, nice and cool, 90 degrees compared to where I live, right? Full humidity, and it was just, it was awesome. It was awesome to do it. I'm kind of hobbling around a little bit today, tweaked my ankle, but if not now, then when? So here's my request for everyone today. How long I've been talking? Okay. My request is there something you've been putting off that seems fun, that seems purposeful, that seems maybe a little bit out there that, you could experience, you could put it on your calendar, you could make plans for it, you could set it as a goal. And for whatever reason, COVID changes, other people's agendas, et cetera, whatever, right? You've deferred that. Can you undefer that? Can you actually put that on your calendar or get a little bit each day? I mean, we just picked up a guitar here. My father's got a couple of guitars. He doesn't play them, but he just likes to look at them. Beautiful Taylor, by the way, like gorgeous guitar. Probably can't play a note on it. Okay, but still beautiful guitar. And so he handed me and also my daughter Trinity the guitar, and we got to make some sounds with the guitar. Well, what if I'm not saying this is your thing. I'm just saying this could be a thing, right? What if you just decided to get it 1% better every day? 10 minutes. And to what end? Well, to whatever end that you've decided that you're going to be able to play a song at Thanksgiving time or something. So have a destination with it, right? Have a reason for doing it. Otherwise, it's just practice for the sake of practice because John told you so. Oh, please don't let me tell you what to do, right? Is there something perhaps in the area of business where it's just been humdrum, where you're not quite fired up? I talked to one of our members just yesterday. We were talking about what has and has not worked in their e-commerce business, and they've completely shifted gears now out of something that was possibly break even in a year and a half, kind of break even and a ton of work and complications and problems, and they're going in a completely different direction, and they're freaking excited about it. Excited. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're on a mission. Now I know there's going to be some profitability there. So again, look in your own life and see where are you at with the different things that you're choosing to spend or invest your attention, your time every day, your most precious commodity. Are you fired up about it? Or is it same soup just warmed over? Because how much time do you got? You know, the guy over at the car lot, the other lot boy who happened to be 90 something years old, he's since passed on. We're going back to the 1980s when I knew that guy. His name was George. Old George. Yeah, he's passed on. I hope he had fun. Tell you what, for me, it was maybe 6 months, and then I was on to like doing, bigger stuff. But again, I wasn't 90 something years old and killing time in a car lot. I love you guys. And I mean, look, if not you, then who? It is time for us to make a spectacle of ourselves. We do that when we're on a mission. We don't do that when we're just killing time. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the microphones for anyone who wants to chime in. I do see Lieutenant Colonel Mark Riggles got his hand up immediately. Mark, are you on a mission? And if so, what is your mission, sir? If it's not classified, I'd love to hear about it.
No, that's quite right. Thanks, John. I'm enjoying the topic today, as always. Been gone for better part of a week. Just got back from a little vacation down south. I don't see Glenn here, but I wanted to, I put a shout out on Skype. Just appreciate that he took the load in my absence this past Thursday, and I'll be back in the game here. So I just wanted to comment on your Apocalypse Now thing, because I remember that scene really well in the hotel, and the line that Martin Sheen had used that I think is so appropriate in what we do here every day. He amongst all the complaining that he's kind of doing as he narrates, the scene, he says, words to the effect, every day that I'm in here, I get weaker, and every day that Charlie's in the bush, he gets stronger. And I see that very much in what we do here every day that we are in this environment. And just to kind of put it in perspective, I was gone a week. And the time that I had a good time. Thank you very much. Spent time with family and friends. We did some really fun things down in Orange County. But every day that I'm gone out of this environment and I don't get that little transition period from my morning to the day's events, the things that I have on my plate, I find that when I come back here, as what you were talking about this morning, when you kind of kick things off, that I was like, wow, I really did miss this. And even without kind of realizing it. And the reason I miss it, and I'm making there's no theatrics or anything in particular here, no surprises. It's just because it's the usual crowd. It's everybody that's here. It's the mastermind. It's everybody's thoughts. It's the whole being of being here. And getting all this input and getting it from multiple sources that kind of help me focus through the day, and hearing the trials and the tribulations of people in our group every day. I'm not an island out there all by myself. I go through the same things that everybody else does. And frankly, it makes me feel more human, or makes me feel more the same as everybody else, and understand that I'm not the only one that has to work through some of these things. Everybody else does as well. And to see the successes, what is it? As a man thinketh. The 1910 book that I've read. It's about tilling one's garden. The mental garden. It's what we put in there, what we feed ourselves, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It is what it's going to be if that's what we're feeding. So when I come back to this environment, in my opinion, I'm feeding myself well, because I'm in a group of positive, very purposefully driven kinds of people. And frankly, damaging in mission, I need that. I need that every day. I've lived it for 30 friggin' years almost in the Marine Corps. I needed that sort of regimentation, and I still do. I've gotten so used to it. So, is this a fix? Is this a crutch? You call it what you want. And that could infer that maybe that's a negative inference. I don't see it that way at all. I see it just the opposite. See having this body of people by my side and these communications available to me every day as a very positive thing. Um, Repetition is the mother of all skill, as they say, and being able to stay in this environment and with these, with this group and having this repetition all the time helps feed me in the positive direction. I found that in that week away, even though I did conduct some business here and there, um, I I found that not being focused as I walk back into this today, I'm already writing things down like, wow, I really got away from that. Yes, I really got away from that. It's caused me to kind of regroup um, and repurposify. I don't know if that's a word, but I think everybody kind of gets that. And now I'm back into having more choice in terms of how I use my time. So now that I've had this little time for myself and the family and friends. Now it's time to kind of get back to work and get back on the mission and the purpose of where I'm going and my milestones. So thanks. Appreciate this topic today, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You just brought something up, which is brilliant, believe it or not, Mark. And that is that on vacation, right? We've got other projects that aren't halted or slowing down. Okay, and I've got big demands placed on me, and so I've had to find ways to have an abbreviated work schedule with clients and different things that I've got to deal with. And like people are like they're full steam ahead as far as administrative staff and stuff like that, and here I am like the star guy in the repertoire, and it's like this is all we're getting this week, so I have to be very selective with what goes on my calendar because most of my time is going to family this week, right? So I think that's a nice way to sort of hit reset if we've just allowed ourselves to be so damn available, right, and flexible and accommodating, which is, I mean, these are good things too, okay, but we got to tighten it up, especially if we intend to do high leverage activities and not just low leverage activities, which never end. Thank you, Mark. That's the beauty of taking a little trip. All right. Who else? We got some more people here. We probably want to share something. I know Carl's been going through some new stuff, right? Getting some new things going. I haven't heard from Carl on these calls in a while. Maybe I'll drag his ass out here. Carl. And Cyril's always got something hot going on. Cyril has that book going. And we got Edward over here. And we got Julia, who's doing the Julia thing. Suzanne. Hey, Sharon's here. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, John, I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
On a walk, so I might get out of breath. Goodness, my mind has gone in so many different directions while you were talking, from being on a mission. I literally turned down a road I've never been on, literally. And it just made me think, philosophically, I've never been down this road in my life. And in the last year, since I've known you and all these people here, I thought my life was fine, coasting along, being a teacher. I entered to the August to May phase of life teaching. And then June, July, part of August is a different season. And I look back in what I've done during those weeks and not as high leverage as you just said. And now I feel like I've got a new view on life. Sorry, catch my breath. And it's awesome. I'm excited. I'm 60 years old and I feel like I've got a new life to live. The challenges of making sure I spend time with family, but also push myself to look into what I'm doing after I teach. So the same soup just warmed over. My son being a chef has taught me a lot. It doesn't have to be the same soup, or it can be the same soup with different seasonings, different ingredients. So that same soup just warmed over. Yeah, but I mean, we got to eat every day, right? I know you're talking philosophically, but you know, there are elements you can add to your meals, to your life, that will spice it up a little. And when we do, it just kind of opens our eyes, to what's possible. So I think about Richard Branson on that mission yesterday of flying into space and opening it up to civilians. What a mission in life. And he actually put himself on that mission to prove that it could be done, to be the one to say, look, guys, we're creating something cool here. I mean, can you imagine what this is going to be in 10 years? People taking $250,000 rides. It's just mind blowing to me what we've done in the last, few decades. But anyway, I love the mission I'm on right now. And you guys are a big part of that. Just thank you so much for opening my eyes and my mind to what's possible.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, you're awesome, and you're out there doing it. You're on a new road, right? So yeah, that is a nice metaphor, but it's also for real. Like literally, you're on a new road. As far as the whole space thing, we could in our lifetimes, right before we're done here, get to a point where, yeah, I know that girl Sharon back on Earth. Yeah, she's awesome. Wouldn't that be cool if we could say, you know what? I know we're getting far out now, but remember, what was it? Glenn would know. First contact with the Vulcans, right? It's like, hey, let's do business. Hey, you Earthlings finally figured some stuff out. You're not primates anymore. We're Vulcans. How are you? Right. So that would be kind of cool. Think about that, Mark. Right? If we could say, you know what? Enough with all this Earth nonsense. We're going over there. All right. Thank you. Mark, your hand up again. You got a comment on that?
Yeah, just briefly, John, just to acknowledge to everyone here, I met Daisy and her husband, Sonia and I did when we went down this last time too, the very first day, and we had dinner. So, and it was great, and so I'm kind of making my rounds. I'm going to be getting down to the Bay Area. So Janet and Evelyn. So as I make these little trips, I'm hoping that I can meet people that are reasonably close. And then the last time I was down, I met John Apogee. So I'm trying to do that as I travel wherever it is I'm going, because I like, getting that face to face and really meeting people. And it's for this group, it's been very helpful for me. Just wanted to say that. So thank you, Daisy. Thanks for those people who have a willingness to meet me. Thanks.
Well, I'm willing to meet you. We're getting together in Vegas in October. So I got to get the final plans on that for our little regional deal there and our little trip to the gun range. All right. Who else? I think I saw maybe Julia was about to speak. Anybody else want to come out? Julia.
Hey, I was just going to say I took a little vacation jaunt this weekend and turned it into a business trip and got some puzzles in another store. So vacation and business can mix.
Right. And then you get to write off the trip because you were doing business. Yeah. Right. I mean, you're just out there looking for stores to put puzzles in.
Yeah.
It just happens to be in exotic locations with, umbrella drinks, with the coconut and stuff. Right?
No, it wasn't that exotic. But.
No coconuts? No? Okay. Nothing exotic like lower Delaware?
No. Upper Iowa. Decorah, Iowa. Decorah, Iowa is a very cool little town.
Nice. I've only been through Iowa once, and it was some of the friendliest people I've ever met. I only met a few of them, but they were friendly. So good stuff. Thank you, Julia. So glad you're here. Any other thoughts on being on a mission today? Of course, we're going to take this up in depth tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, when a lot of you Brits are going to be asleep. All right. So I don't see any other hands up. We'll go ahead and wrap up with that. My intent is that we all finish the third quarter at like double the statistics we started it with, right? We're 12 days now into the third quarter. So just keeping my eye on the clock and how quickly I can get stuff done and how purposefully I can get stuff done in the time that we have here. So love you guys once again. Thanks for being here. Tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern for Emma and I believe Neil will be there for our e-commerce work group. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, at 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, We have our book study group, On a Mission and 3 Magic Words, Out of Integrity is Everything. I'll see you all there. Have a great day. Bye for now.